Gendered peoples have been present in societies around the world for thousands of years. Societies have typically created strict gender roles for men and women, while those unable to conform to the accepted roles of the gender they were born into make up a third gender, a group which includes Chinese eunuchs, Indian Hijra, Zuni Bardash, and transgendered Americans. Throughout these societies, the presence of the third gender peoples has been defined both biologically and culturally, though however they are defined determines their significance within their society. In modern-day America, the presence of third-gendered peoples within society has not typically been accepted. Many doctors believe that quality of life is only possible for individuals who conform to male or female sex and gender. Every year, about 1 in every 2,000 infants born undergoes cosmetic genital surgery in an attempt to normalize ambiguous genitalia. Most of these children are boys who go on to become girls. Society does not care for people who undergo a sex change, or even those who only portray themselves as the opposite sex. Kate Bornstein, for example, was born a boy but felt that she was meant to be a girl. One day, when walking down the street with her girlfriend, several children yelled derogatory names at her. The father, however, was quick to reply, "One of them's got to be a man. This is America." To this day, gender nonconformists within the United States are listed in the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders. As opposed to the biological definition of gender accepted in the United States, the third-gendered peoples of China, India, and the Zuni have been defined through the cultural aspects of politics, religion, and just plain old personal choice. Through the centuries of China's dynastic rule, eunuchs, castrated males, have been accepted as a part of court society. Eunuchs acted as personal attendants to the emperor and as guardians of the royal harem. Eunuchs were considered pure, and since they were impotent, they could pose little threat to the emperor, his rule, and the royal ladies. Whereas the concept of third genders is an uncomfortable thought for many Americans, Hinduism believes in ideal hermaphrodism, as it is believed that every person, man and woman alike, holds male and female principles within themselves. The hijra, impotent men in women's dress, perform at weddings and at the birth of male children, and through these performances they are able to display themselves as vehicles of the divine power of the mother goddess, which transforms their impotence into the power of generativity. For centuries, the Bardash, men who act as women, have been valued by the Zunis, who think of gender as a trait one acquires rather than one they are born with. Bardashs were recognized from the time they were children, when they gravitated more towards women's tools such as the spade, spindle, and axe, than they did to the bow and arrow, the traditional tools of man. Throughout societies around the world, the third gender has been defined in ways unique to each. However, how each society has defined the third gender can tell a lot about their significance, if they have any, within that culture. For example, the concept of anything not male or female has come to invoke a sense of disgust and fear among many Americans. This view is supported by the fact that gender has become something that is defined by science, medicine, and biology. There are only two right answers when it comes to gender. Chinese court eunuchs, on the other hand, were in a position to gain great power and wealth due to their close proximity to and their favor with the emperor and his family. Though many normal Chinese men and women disliked the eunuchs for these reasons, this did not stop the eunuchs from gaining power, wealth, and prestige within imperial China. Religion, on the other hand, accorded some sense of fear to the Indian Hijra, though their performance and antics were often seen as a form of entertainment. The Hijra were known for their tempers and their ability to place curses upon others. This fear took precedence over people's amusement. Through fear, the Hijras were able to maintain wealth and power within India. The Bardash, on the other hand, were much beloved by the Zuni tribes. The Bardash were valued for their work ethic and their productivity, as one Bardash was often able to do twice the amount of work as a woman. Bardash could also be weavers and potters, medicine men, or other influential figures within the tribe. It was through this sense of worship and high praise that the Bardash were able to maintain a significant influence within the Zuni. The two main categories used to define third genders have been culture and biology. Biology has provided a much more limited view of third genders than culture has, because while culture can include religion and politics, biology is restricted to the way the body is made and proportioned. The United States is one country that has chosen to define gender as biological, limiting the genders accepted by society to two, male and female, and limiting the gender each person can be while still being socially correct to one. In India, China, and the Zuni tribes, however, the third gender has been an ancient tradition that has provided prosperity for those of the third gender. What culture has done for these third gender groups has been to allow it to flourish and grow into society to the point that it has become irreplaceable. Biology, on the other hand, will never change and will never allow for a third gender to be considered as normal.